And welcome back to Pro Scrims. I'm Mr. X, joined by Doc, and we are on board. It's TK against Curse Las Vegas, and we are about to play Blitz Warhawk. Game ended, and we don't know why.
It happens, you know, these two teams, one of them is based off the East Coast, one off the West, so there is going to be a little bit of a lag coming. I do understand, you know, we have the same problem here in Australia. It's, you know, it's almost a battle between, if any of the Australian views are out there, it's, you know, kind of the South against the West in a sense. You know, there is a big lag coming. That just happens with Call of Duty, but it's really interesting to see just how, you know, teams kind of adapt to that. And you would have thought by now these pro players, they would have actually had a strategy for it, but obviously they, you know, just want that advantage when it comes down to it. Yeah,
I mean, you know, for us personally, I mean, at Complexity, we have TP, who's a West Coast player, and Krim, who is in the middle of nowhere in the top of Seattle. So they really don't connect well to anybody on the East Coast, and you know, so we're not really necessarily an online team. I mean, we do well online. We aren't an online team, but I think it actually helps us at LAN, you know, because I mean, they're playing the right spots online. They're fighting the gun battles that they would fight on LAN at a disadvantage. So if they're able to win them at a disadvantage, they can win them when it's even, you know. So it's one of the things. I mean, we don't mind it. It happens. I mean, you're not making your money online winning scrims. You don't get paid to win scrims. You get paid to win at events, and you know, it's just good practice for events. And right now it looks like the game's starting back up, and I'm gonna go on board with Miracles here at the start. We've been talking about him a lot tonight, and he is going to be Curse's pretty much just their objective player. On Blitz, you really need everybody to focus on objective, but I mean, Miracles is going to be the one who's going to be extremely aggressive with submachine gun.
Yeah, it's also quite interesting that he was rocking that AR previously, a little bit in the domination and a little bit in the search and destroy, so he's very confident with his shot, and he is actually getting destroyed there, and that should be TK getting the first point on the board. Fury went on a 3-kill streak and just waltzed on in and got the first one down. So TK off to a great start, but now I'm on board with Killer. He's starting to make a counter push for his own team right now, and he's actually pushed up very aggressively to the TK base. Yeah,
and I mean, right now Killer just needs to just hang out here and slay a little bit and just be a distraction. You know, almost got killed right there. Some bad timing. Actually does get picked up by Sharp. So I'm really liking the Blitz start right here out of TK. I really didn't expect this. We see Nameless picking up 2 huge kills, and right now, if I'm Cursed, I need to get somebody on this far left side to just kind of hold map control. There's really nobody over there, and I believe they're actually going to send, I believe it's Killa over here. He's going to work these fences. I'd much rather prefer an AR over in this spot, personally.
Oh yeah, there are some really long-range engagements over there, but as Killer was going over there, I actually saw his Miracles and Parasite that was actually funneling along that right-hand side, so maybe make a little bit of a distraction play, but now Miracle's stuck by himself on the right side. He's actually scouting out a lot of players, picking up some important kills, and now his team, they need to start to push up, you know, give him some extra support, as they do have TK trapped in their own base, but TK is just doing a brilliant job at just playing defensively. You know, they're getting those barriers up and they're stopping Curse from pushing towards them.
Right, and I mean, you see Killa picking up 3 kills in the base, and he's actually stunned, and it looks like he's going to be able to have a cap if he can get through this, you know. But, I mean, there's Clayster in the base playing good defense. He takes out Parasite, too, just embarrassed him. I mean, big plays out of Clayster. And, you know, it's 1-0 in Curse. TK's favor right now. We usually see Blitz games typically more high scoring than this, but we're seeing 2 pretty passive teams right now, but Miracle's able to get a cap. And, you know, 1-1 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half. We usually see a lot more action than this.
Yeah, finally the aggression for Curse paying off as they got the free down, and he just saw Miracles just sprint on in, do a little bit of a slide to and get that point. And I'm looking at the kill feed, I'm just seeing Curse just dominating right now. TK, they're actually getting out of it. They got that first one on the board, but ever since then, it hasn't been too successful for them. But they still got plenty of time. Of course, it is a 2-half game mode, and we still got 2 minutes and a bit on this one. So hopefully they can get another one, another cap down and get themselves back into this. But Curse, they've been extremely dominant right now. I'm on board with Miracles. He's pushing that left side, fairly aggressive. But now he's going to rotate back to mid. He knows where they're spawning. He's going to try and make something happen.
Yeah, and you know, these guys have such good teamwork together. I mean, Parasite had teamed with Nameless when they were on the Unite squad, and obviously Miracles, Nameless, and Parasite teamed together on Curse Las Vegas for Columbus. And you know, when you make a roster change, a lot of people, they worry a lot about chemistry. And I think when you keep 3/4 of your team, you're really just plugging that one player in. Chemistry really isn't a factor right there. And you see Nameless, he's got to win this gun battle on his own goal, and he actually does win it, but Theory able to score, and he dies in the goal. So, I mean, that's unfortunate, yeah. But it looks like there's 2 members of Curse, yeah, just pushing on this base.
They're pushing it, but it just seems like then, you know, they're getting those kills. I keep seeing them get like 2 pieces and that, but then they stay in the same spot, and I'm questioning what they're really going for. Like Nameless, he's picked up 2 kills, 3 kills to his name, but he's kind of pushing like a snail up this left side of the map, and it's not working too well for him, because soon he's going to get up close like he just did then and get shut down, and all that you know, momentum that he got from it is just gone, and now they're trapped in their base once again.
Yeah, you know, both teams right now, this is very different than what we see a lot of the other teams play. A lot of the other teams we see play extremely fast-paced, extremely just rushing, because in my opinion, the way we kind of look at it is, if let's say we get 2 guys down and then we kill 2 guys, and then let's say we give up 1 cap, that's basically like killing 3 people, because that 1 guy is going to spawn back at his base. We know where he's going to spawn, so we will trade caps until we can just pretty much get a spawn lock and get 2 or 3 caps, and then that's when you start building a mounting lead. But I mean, right here with 20 seconds left, it looks like we're going to get a 2-2 tie going into halftime. And, you know, I think the second half, I mean, we don't have broadcaster mode. You know, we're not playing with the esports rules enabled tonight, you know, because it does lag the game a little bit online. So for you guys wondering why we're not in broadcaster, no, we know how broadcaster works. We're just not using it right now. I'm sure that'll be fixed soon. We see, yeah, we see. I mean, I was on board with Nameless right there, and I mean, he just didn't do somebody right. And I mean, what actually, we're gonna see Parasite with a final kill cam, and he's snipes this guy. Oh no, who was that? Who was that? They're getting roasted after this. Who was that? Sit down. Sit down. But now we get a 2-2 game going into the second half.
Paragoat right there.
Yeah, I'm going to go on board. We want to go on board with TK in the second half. I killed myself. It won't let me spawn in. This is weird. I'm going to spectator, and then I'm coming back. All right, so I'm on board with TK, and I'm on board with Theory. And the Theory is a player who I think is extremely underrated. He's so smart, and he does a little bit of everything. He can slay a little bit. He also plays pretty good objective, and he's also extremely smart. He's one of the players who is the shot caller for this TK team.
You do say he plays relatively smart, and, you know, plays with his head, which not a lot of, you know, COD players do, as I've been noticing. They, you know, rely on their gun skill a lot, and he may be dropping that negative, but he's got those 2 caps, and caps win games. That's the way you got to look at it. Like, no one from TK is actually dropping solid numbers except for Clayster, who's only just positive, and as I say that, he ends up dropping. So they're not doing a good job in the slaying department, but they're getting the important kills, and they're getting those captures. They know when they need to be aggressive, and they know when they need to be defensive. I feel like that's why they're still in this game, and that's something Curse hasn't picked up from, as 3 of them go down there, and the last one alive is Miracle, so he's got to try and fend them off right now, and TK, now they're going to start to push up, and this is exactly what they need to do to try and get another point on the board.
Right, and this is where you'd like to see TK just push up and just try and spawn kill another wave of players and get a cap. But as I say that, 2 guys to go down for TK. And I'm on board with Clayster, and he is kind of just waiting it out in this just little garage area. And he sees a guy on the other tank that, you know, probably would have not have shot those shots. You know, now they know he's over here, and he's the 1 player gone. I mean, wins that gun battle with Parasite, wins another gun battle with Miracles. I mean, that was just pretty nasty. And he might, I mean, we don't have the other team's just map up, but, you know, they're going to spawn over there on the right, and he's able to pick up Killa. Nameless picks up 2, and, I mean, I think if I'm Clayster right here, I probably would have went for the goal right there. I would have been more aggressive.
Oh no, but Clayster going off and finally is shut down there. Parasite stopping the Wrecking Ball, also known as Clayster there. He was just going absolutely ham in the Curse spawn, so thank God he died. But now he's actually getting some momentum going. 15 for 9. He has lifted his game in the second half. And TK, they did run a point in. Wasn't paying attention, of course, it was Sharp. Even though he isn't having too much of a successful game, got that capture, which is what they needed. And it's going to be very interesting to see how they play this, whether or not they don't play too aggressive about it and they, you know, chill with their 1 lead, or they just keep going for it. They just keep being in the faces of Curse, which seems to be paying out for them. And Mr. X, I've noticed this. A few people, you know, they're commenting that, you know, this Curse Las Vegas team, they're not the same as they were in Black Ops 2. And in a sense, you know, they're players. They're not as strong as they used to be, and they're not as powerful as that former Impact team is. Of course, they've been trying to, in a sense, replace it or revamp it.
Rekindle that fire. That's
Rekindle. There
when
we
you
go.
when you have success with a certain group of players, and then you move on from those, and both teams, they just kind of fluster for a little bit. You don't really know what's going on. You kind of always go back to those players that you had success with. And I really think, though, this is going to be the last time you're going to see these guys try and form together. I think if this doesn't work, I think that you're going to see all of these guys move on. But I really do like this team. They are so dedicated to just playing and just winning and trying to compete at the highest level that I think you're going to see good things about them once they try and really just figure out these game modes and just learn how to play them. Right now, I would love to see, pretty much from both teams, just a lot more aggressive play. I think Blitz, you really want to force gun battles, and you want to force, it's a little bit of a random game mode, I would say. Not random in the sense that the outcomes are always random, but you can sneak by people and you can play a little different. But if you can consistently be in the other team's face and force gun battles and really just dominate the slaying department and force another team to kill with you the entire round, I think you can get a consistent result out of this game mode.
It really is a more logical game mode. Is Sharp going for another one there? He is actually doing brilliant this second half. I take back everything I said about him from that first half, because he's really making something happen. And look, Theory, proving what you just said before, how players don't always go for the kills. He just ran past one of the Curse players and has given him a point. He would have given the call out, so he kind of got, a double header there. He knew where one of the Curse players was and got a cap on the board, and he's actually going to town right now inside his own base there. He gets a cheeky little 2-pick, and that is a free down for Curse. That is exactly what TK needed, and it's actually impossible.
Mathematically impossible, yeah. It is mathematically impossible, and we're going to see TK take this map. That was the one thing that, I said that I was not really worried about, but I was interested to see is how TK was going to look on Blitz. They looked extremely well on Blitz. They knew exactly what they wanted to do role-wise. You saw at one point when they got up in caps, you had Clayster and Nesla both running ARs, playing pretty heavy defense. Sharp and Theory both just sneaking for caps. There was one point where Sharp let a guy actually jump directly over him onto the porch in the Curse Las Vegas base, and he didn't even shoot him as he walked by. He let him walk straight through, and he was able to pick up an easy cap. You see Clayster going 20 and 14, going big for his team, and you see Theory with 3 caps going 16 and 19. That's a pretty good game out of one of your, not really your full objective player, but out of one of your just all-around versatile players.
Definitely. I kind of remember a commentary that Sharp actually did not too long ago, where he described how, Team Caliber and the players on it, especially, he mentioned Nesla and Fury in particular, how as soon as Blitz came out, they just picked it up like that, and they were really strong with it. And he didn't know why. He's just like, it's a new game mode. I don't know why we're very strong in it, but they are. And they just proved it. They're taking out Curse Las Vegas in that Blitz. And that's no pushover feat. They are such a strong team. You look at the lineup, Killer, Parasite, like those two alone should be enough to, shake some bones. But then including Miracles and Nameless, that is a dream team for me. Curse Las Vegas.
Yeah, they have a great team. I think that it's a lot different than the TK that we saw at Columbus. It's still the same success on Blitz. When we played them on Blitz at Columbus, they were extremely aggressive, and they just pretty much just went face to face with us. They fought us gun battle, and they ended up, I believe, winning both Blitzes in this series. And you see, actually, in that one, it was a little bit more of a passive, more defensive, more methodical, trying to work for caps. And that's one of the things you're going to see as you see TK evolve with the roster change. Obviously, you're going to see them move into that type of team because it fits their playstyle well, and it's still giving them lots of success.
Oh, yeah. I still feel like it is early days. With this whole thing, Clayster, it hasn't even been 48 hours, and he's been on this team. So I'd like to see him in a week, after all the scrims, after all the 8s, and, after everything's settled down, how he really molds in that team. Because it is still... this is only the birth. This could be the birth of something really great for TK, the organization. This could be exactly what they needed to stop placing second place and start taking out, championships, start winning events, which is, I know, something you don't want to happen because, you are the coach of Complexity, but it could be that extra kick that they need to just lift their game that little bit more.
No, absolutely. It could be it could actually just, it could light a, when you make a roster change or somebody leaves unexpectedly, it does light a fire under the people that are still there, that they want to prove that, that one person really wasn't just the whole show. And I think TK and Clayster is just a perfect fit for each other at this time. And, I mean, I fully expect them to compete for championships for the rest of the year. And, right now we're going to go to a commercial break as we're waiting on the invite. But we have TK up 2-1 in our series against Curse Las Vegas, going into a domination. Don't know the map, but if TK is to win this, they're going to win this series against Curse Las Vegas. And what's your prediction for this next map, Doc?
You know what? After the previous domination, which we saw on Sovereign, I have to give it to TK. They were too strong, in my opinion.
All right, well, if you take TK, I'm going to take Curse. Make it interesting.
Oh, it's on.
It's on. It's on. Yeah,
You're creating friction between us. This isn't good.
Yeah, I want.
If TK wins, I'm gonna give it to you. You know that, right?
I want that final game. I want Kill in that final game on that search and destroy. That's what I want to see. But stay tuned. Me and Doc, MLG.TV, Curse Las Vegas against TK, coming back next.